It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP, so please consider subscribing to the channel if that is of interest to you. And if you're a returning subscriber like Giovanni, Elijah, thank you for the support. In today's video, we are taking a look at the Ultra League, and today we are starting it off in the Ultra Premier Cup. Now, the majority of my videos for these next 2 weeks are probably going to be coming from Open Ultra League. However, I really wanted to test out one specific Pokemon and it has no play in Open Ultra, so I decided to take the Premier route, and that Pokemon is Shadow Staraptor. Now, Shadow Staraptor is a very interesting Pokemon because it does have access to Wing Attack, which is a very strong fast move. However, its charge moves are a little bit interesting. It has access to Brave Bird, Close Combat, and Heat Wave. Heat Wave is one of the worst moves in the game, so there really isn't a bait move for this Pokemon. As a result, you kind of have to go double nuke, and both of these moves self-debuff, so it's a very tricky Pokemon to use. As a result of that, I had a hard time deciding what kind of Pokemon I wanted to pair with Staraptor. In the end, I decided to just go with two Pokemon in the back that could kind of lure out a grass type and then have Staraptor in the lead, and I thought, why not just make it triple shadow while we're at it? So definitely a spice team. This is not a very good team according to PvPoke, and I mean, it's pretty obvious looking at it, but this team is a lot of fun to use, and these battles were pretty insane. So I was going to do more than one set, but after the first set finished, I figured it probably isn't going to get much better than this, so I just wanted to upload it immediately and got to editing. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please make sure you smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Leave a comment in the comments section down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Alright, so I guess we've pretty much entered the spice zone at this point because Shadow Staraptor, pretty insane, and on top of that, it's a triple shadow team, so you guys want the glass, here it is. First battle got Shadow Staraptor into Machamp, pretty much one of the best leads you could ask for, but at the same time, it's not as good as you would think. So fortunately for us, the opponent swaps out into Umbreon, and this is the first battle I was doing with this team, so I was deciding what I wanted to come in with, and I decided to come in with Swampert, but in hindsight, if I could replay this match again, I'd probably come in with the Lapras instead, because what I realized at this point once I swapped into Swampert was that Umbreon could win this match in the 2 shields, so there's a very high likelihood that I will lose switch advantage. And if I do that, I have the possibility of seeing my Lapras aligned with the Machamp, which is not going to be very good. So we're going to end up losing this 2 shields, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to shield once here, just to get this Umbreon low enough to the point where I could come in with the Staraptor after and just farm it down with Wing Attack, hopefully get an energy lead. But I'm probably going to have to face that Machamp with my Lapras, so things aren't looking too good right here. Decide to let the move go at this point, so if foul play comes through, and the opponent is going to have a second one ready. So I'm going to let this go through, give up switch advantage here. I need the shield considering how glassy my team is. I'm going to come in with Staraptor. Hope I could farm down before the opponent gets another foul play, and we're able to do it. So we're pretty loaded on energy at this point, so feeling pretty comfortable. The opponent comes in with a Magnezone. You gotta be kidding me right here. So I build up for 2 close combats, and you know what this means. If they shield the first one, that means the second one's coming. Bang! There it is. Magnezone with the one shot. Machamp comes in. Brave Bird, back-to-back KOs. I go for the bait here with the close combat. Close combat's still going to hurt, but I just wanted to get the shield there. Come in with the Lapras. And at this point, I know that Lapras could get Machamp low enough to the point where I could finish off the game with a shield plus Staraptor. So I know the cross chop isn't going to KO there, so I let it go through, get off this Surf, and this is going to mean that the Machamp can farm us down, but we do have a shield, and look at those ice shards absolutely chunk from the Shadow. Staraptor should be able to shield this up and farm down with Wing Attack before the opponent gets to another move. We're going to be able to take that game with the Shadow Staraptor off to a 1-0 start, and honestly, I wasn't expecting too many wins in this set, but I was happy to at least get 1 win, and when you get in the first battle, that's always nice. So let's hop into match number 2 here, and we got Shadow Staraptor into Politoed, and what you're going to notice about Staraptor is that because it doesn't really have a bait move, it's very difficult to stay in matches. So often what you're going to do is throw one move and then immediately swap out, and for the most part, my safe switch on this team is probably going to be Shadow Lapras, so I decided to go for a close combat here, And I actually want to catch the Weather Ball onto my Lapras here, so I swap out. The opponent doesn't throw and they come with Gallade. So this is pretty bad for me. Gallade has a pretty good match against all three of these Pokemon, so I just want to do as much chip damage as I possibly can here with the Lapras. And you can see right there, they actually do overfarm quite a bit. So I'm actually going to shield this up here, I believe, so I can get off one Surf. Yeah, that's what we do. Should be CMP tie. So the Surf should come through here, get the shield from the opponent. If they let it go through, I'm fine with that as well. But they are going to shield, of course, because Lapras could give the Politoed a bit of problem. And the Gallade going to throw here. So hoping I come with Staraptor, just farm this thing down. It should be like one wing attack at this point. It is a part fighting type. So it goes down. Politoed comes back in. I swap out into Swampert here. And the opponent's going to throw a move. Really hoping this isn't an Earthquake. It's only a Weather Ball, so that's pretty nice. We could tank that quite well. And the opponent's going to start spamming the Weather Balls here. So what I'm hoping for is that I could actually get to the Earthquake before the opponent gets to the next Weather Ball. But this thing is absolutely broken when it comes to spam, so I'm forced to burn my last shield. Now I'm expecting the switch, so I don't throw because I knew they were going to swap out here. I wanted to see what they came in with first. And they come into Swampert, so I'm not going to throw back to back here. I need to overfarm a little bit first just before they get to their own Hydro Cannon in order to knock them out without taking out my own Swampert and having enough energy to potentially take out this Politoed after. So I swap out into Staraptor here, just about at the Earthquake. I don't think Hydro Cannon would KO Politoed from this range, so I sacrifice the Staraptor here and hoping I could outpace to the Earthquake here, which we are able to do. So a nice little team effort there by Staraptor and Swampert in the back. A little Chris Paul, Devin Booker going. In fact, I'm going to call Staraptor D-Book right now. Staraptor is the Devin Booker of this team, dropping the threes on everybody. We got Titus 04 in the next matchup, and we got Staraptor into an Empoleon. So this isn't a horrible matchup, but because these waterfalls are doing so much, Staraptor is going to lose into 2 shields. So I'm going for the close combat, expecting the shield, and I'm going to swap out. But bang! There it is instead. And Empoleon doesn't want to shield that for whatever reason. They come in Dragonite, so I actually stay in order to keep alignment here with Lapras. And they come into Kingdra here. So I need this Lapras for the Dragonite, so I'm going to throw the Surf here. I believe I did build up to where Ice Beam would be. Should be 6 Ice Shards. But they don't shield, so at this point, I think the opponent is not shielding. Like here, for example, I go for Hydro Cannon. It's obvious I'm going for Hydro Cannon. And the opponent decides that they're not going to shield this. And I think this is a mistake on the opponent's part here because, yes, you don't want to shield a resisted move here. But the fact of the matter is that Dragonite is going to be useless with shields. And you need to keep as much health on this Kingdra as possible in order to win this game. So you see here, I'm going to throw another Surf. Now they're forced to start shielding. So the opponent pretty much should have been using their shields on this Kingdra the entire time. I know this is going to be an Octazooka, but I have to shield here because Lapras is going to just Ice Shard down this Dragonite here. So the opponent swaps out, and we're at a Surf, but I'm not going to throw it. I'm going to shield up the Dragon Claw here. I'm just going to completely farm down with Ice Shard and basically win this game with fast move damage. So you see the opponent's going to come back in, and they're losing with a shield. So I definitely think in that situation, you have to start shielding the moves, even if they're going to be resisted, understanding that the Dragonite isn't going to be, it's not going to have any need for those shields because it's pretty much useless in that particular matchup. So GG's. We move into the next game here. We got Staraptor into a Granbull. I'm going to swap out. I probably should have just swapped out immediately, to be honest. So do swap out late, and we see Escavalier come in. So this is a awful matchup, obviously, for Lapras. We're going to throw the Surf right here, and this is going to, so this is an interesting decision right here. I decided to actually shield this up so that I could get a shield in return from the Escavalier. But in hindsight, I actually think that's the wrong move, because what happens now is that, yes, I will get a shield from this Escavalier, but what I'm giving up in exchange is a complete farm down to my Lapras, which is actually horrible. So I'm kind of used to playing that with the non-Shadow Lapras, where I think we get to one more Surf, but because it's the Shadow, it's pretty bad. And here, all the moves are pretty much resisted, so I let it go through, and it's a Mega Horn, and look at how much that does to Staraptor. So we get farm down, hoping I could come in with the Swampert and farm down, but this Escavalier is loaded on energy, and this right here changes the game, because them getting that drill run forces the final shield. And although the Granbull comes in and we should be able to get to 2 Hydro Cannons, what's going to end up happening is that the opponent actually has a Pokemon in the back where we could have potentially won this game. So you see, they catch the move, but they catch it onto a Gengar actually, which almost gives me a win con here because I could actually farm this down before they get to a Shadow Punch, and I fall just short of the Hydro Cannon. So if we were at the Hydro Cannon, maybe a possibility to win that game. I'm not sure if we beat Granbull in CMP, but if we did, that was a win con for us. Obviously losing that shield against the Escavalier there was a critical part of the game, and if we didn't have to shield up against the Escavalier there, probably could have won that despite the very difficult circumstance we found ourselves in. So let's hop into the next matchup. This is against a Charizard lead. I believe we're 3-1 currently, and I swap out into Lapras. I figure at this point I have 2 good counters for Charizard, may as well swap out immediately, and we see the hard counter come out in Meganium. So this is what we want to do. We want to draw out the grass type if they have it, have the Staraptor come in after, and the Swampert, of course, gets to avoid Meganium now. So here I decide to shield once again, but this is a different scenario because I know I can get off the Surf, and if they actually let this Surf go through, I'll be able to take Switch after with the Ice Shard damage. So they're pretty much forced to shield, and I'm going to let the Lapras go down. Another reason for wanting to do that is because Staraptor, although it is going to be resisting the moves from Meganium, it takes a lot of damage, and Frenzy Plant, you're going to see how much this does right here. It's actually insane. Staraptor super glassy. Look at that damage right there coming from, we saw the Mega Horn, look at the Frenzy Plant. This thing is a glass cannon. Charizard comes in, going for the close combat here. We're a little stingy on the energy, want to save a move or 2 of energy. Get the final shield. Opponent has a Jellicent in the back. This is not good at all, but the game is not over yet. Gonna throw the Earthquake right here, so we're doing a lot of damage. That is quite a bit, and this is the decision to make here. Is it the Shadow Ball? Is it the Bubble Beam? I decided to shield it up, and we called the Shadow Ball. That's a huge call right here, and this is where I make a mistake. I wasn't counting their energy, so I thought that they were just about to get to the Shadow Ball. They're actually about 2 hexes short, I believe, and Hydro Cannon doesn't KO. So if I just built up one more Mud Shot, could have probably got to the Earthquake, but that's only a Bubble Beam, so that was really good for us. Going to farm down with Mud Shot. Throw the Hydro Cannon here at the Charizard. I believe my switch timer actually wasn't up yet, or else I would have swapped out in order to one-shot this Charizard, but I believe it wasn't up, so I decided to just throw it before the Dragon Claw came through, swap out into the Staraptor, and hopefully we're 1 Mud Shot short, get to the Hydro Cannon before the Charizard, able to do it, and we are going to go 4-1 with Shadow Staraptor on a triple Shadow team. Absolutely incredible, a lot of fun to use, but I definitely do not recommend it. So those were the battles featuring Shadow Staraptor in the Ultra Premier Cup on a triple Shadow team. Definitely a very fun Pokemon that can nuke almost anything, hits very hard, but also extremely glassy. We got the team that I kind of just put together very quickly. I don't recommend this team. It's obviously not a very strong team, and over a larger sample size, we're obviously going to experience a lot of losses. But for this video, there were some really hype moments, and I hope that it was entertaining for all of you to watch. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.